Hey guys, I'm Amirose with AMC Movie News, and I'm joined by a very special guest today, Mr. Gabriel Iglesias, warmly known as Fluffy. How you doing today?
Doing pretty good, in front of the magical brick wall. And it's rare that I actually get to be in front of a real brick wall. Usually it's like a fake brick wall that's made to look like a real one, but this building is legit, people. That's real brick.
Moving on up. So you are in studio with us today to talk about your new movie coming out, the Fluffy movie, which hits AMC Theatres on July 25th.
I'm pretty jazzed about that for the fact that it's my actual movie. It's mine. I'm not sharing it with Channing Tatum like last time. I'm not sharing it with Disney. I'm not sharing it with Guillermo del Toro. It's me.
Although if you had to share a movie, those are not bad names to share with.
They're not bad names, but you know, you have a different agenda than I do.
Yeah, and we want more Fluffy. So now this movie focuses on the Unity Through Laughter tour. First off, I love that name. How did you come up with that?
Basically, one night we were just trying to figure out what it is that I'm really doing out there, you know, because it's like we have all these different demographics of people that come out to my shows, you know. It's like a little bit of here, this, a little bit of that, this age, that age. You know, I got kids coming to the shows, I got elderly people come to the shows. So one night we're just trying to figure out what is his actual demo. This is in myself. I don't mean to talk in third person like The Rock, but so that's when we came up with the whole, you know, Unity Through Laughter. It's just bringing everybody together.
I love it.
You know, I try to make my shows also so that they're not, I don't ruffle feathers. So I don't talk about politics, I don't talk about religion, and I don't talk about sports. So I think by staying away from all three of those, it keeps people from arguing or you know, dividing the room.
Yeah, sports might be the most controversial out of all that. So now I understand you sold out the tour, 23 countries, 400 cities. How does that make you feel? Your fans are so loyal.
It's an amazing feeling, and I credit YouTube and I credit social media for that. You know, I can't really say that Hollywood did that one for me. Hollywood came after me after the fact. So, you know, I think by staying in touch with the people, that's why it's happening.
Mm-hmm. So tell us a little bit about what to expect from the film, what it focuses on.
Well, it focuses on, basically, this is my 5th special that I do. The difference between this one and everything else that came out on cable is that this one's, super deep, super personal. It gets a little emotional. People get to see a side of me that they're not accustomed to, and you know, I take them in a different direction. And there's a special message at the end.
We love special messages. So how you avoid, you know, controversial topics, how would you describe your comedic style?
I tell stories about relatable issues. So I'm always talking about family, friends, being a fish out of water, being the new guy somewhere. You know, everybody can relate to being the new person somewhere, whether it's at a job or just at an event or traveling. Mm-hmm. And so I think by keeping it like that and showing people that I'm flawed, because I am, you know, I'm not trying to go out there saying, oh, I'm this or I'm that. I'm like, look, I start off my special by talking about how I'm type 2 diabetic and I'm dealing with some issues. Right off the bat, people are like, well, what's going on here? It's not the norm, you know what I mean? So I think by showing that I'm vulnerable to people, that it makes it so that people want to connect.
Absolutely. So now the film opened up with an actor that portrayed Little Fluffy, right? Mm-hmm. And his first introduction to comedy was with Eddie Murphy's film.
Yeah, Eddie Murphy was the inspiration for me wanting to become a comic when I was 10 years old, and I was at a video store with my mom, and she said, basically babysit yourself, because that's what she would do. I was a latchkey kid. There was no, you know, sitter back in the day for us. It was, here's a, you know, VHS tape, go play your Nintendo, and I'll see you when I get back from work.
So Eddie Murphy obviously has a very unique style. What are some other comedians that have influenced you, and what is it about their approach that you love?
Robin Williams, definitely, because he's very spontaneous, at least with his you know, presentation. Eddie Murphy, obviously, because of the characters and the voices and just the whole rock star appeal about him. You know, it's like every time he'd walk out on stage, it was like, is he gonna sing? Is he gonna dance? What's he? Oh, he's just gonna tell jokes. Cool. So it was them two and Paul Rodriguez.
Pretty fun. So you have been touring the globe.
Everywhere, anywhere. I mean, my passport is, we've already had it double stuffed like an Oreo. Basically, they add more pages to it, so it's a pretty fat passport.
Pretty fat passport. If you could go anywhere else now, what's the one place you have not hit up yet that you really want to hit up?
South Africa.
Oh.
South Africa. Definitely, it's on the list of places to go. South Africa, China, Hong Kong, Malaysia. Let's see, we've covered quite a few. Oh, Germany. I have played Germany, but I haven't played it proper. And Russia.
So you really are traveling the world.
Oh yeah, yeah. I go anywhere, everywhere. I tell people, you name it. I work hard. I do what I got to do. I'm like a hooker with a van. There's no stopping me. This is all day. Let's go.
All day. Let's demand it, and Fluffy's coming. So I also understand you're a big WWE fan.
A huge WWE fan. I've been at the last 5 WrestleManias. I don't know how many countless pay-per-views I've been at. I've made friends with several wrestlers, and I've been a fan since 1985.
So there's kind of a similarity between sports if you really think about it. The comedic approach, they're performing, it could go terribly wrong, or you could have the whole room really feeling your energy as well.
You know what? Wrestling and comedy is very, very similar. The lifestyle is extremely similar. Obviously, I take a lot less bruises than they do. However, once the lights are off and you're behind the curtain, you know, it's the same basic thing. You're always on the road. You're constantly working. You're living out of your luggage. You're at airports. You're at train stations, bus stations, airports, hotel lobbies. You know, you're away from your family a lot. You don't always get to be home for the birthdays and stuff like that. There's a lot of sacrifice. I mean, it's very, you know, a lot of the habits are very, very similar. You know, I run into a lot of wrestlers at bars. I'm like, what are you doing here? Oh yeah, me too. All right, yeah. Cheers, cheers.
You bond over it. So we have a lot of fans of you and your work, and we asked them if they had any questions to ask you. So I have a couple user-submitted questions for you.
Go right ahead.
All right. The first one is from Elias Tefwed, who asks, why did you want to become a comedian in the first place?
I love the attention. I love first of all, the acceptance of it. You know, when I was a little kid, I wasn't very popular. I've always been a chubby kid. I've always had just issues with I had acne and messed up teeth when I was little. And, you know, comedy has always been that whole, when people are laughing and having fun with you, I see that as a form of acceptance. When I saw Eddie Murphy and he just walked out and everybody's chanting for him and they just loved him, I'm like, I want that, you know, and to be in that position now, it's amazing. You know, I go places and people's faces light up. You know, you go, oh my God, it's you, and I'm like, hey, it's me. You know, and I enjoy it, and you know, I've always wanted to do that.
Absolutely. So Gabe asks, following that,
Gabe,
what was your first comedian bit?
I was 10 years old. I went up on stage, and the very first joke I told was, why did the chicken cross the road? And I said, to check out the chicks. And for 10 years old, that was pretty genius. You know,
if you do say so yourself.
For 10 years old, I thought that was a pretty big deal. And everyone was like, he's gonna make it. I'm like, yeah, it's one joke. But that was my first joke that I ever told on stage.
And you just got addicted to it after that, huh?
I was hooked at 10 years old. I knew for a fact at 10 years old this was what I was going to be. I either wanted to be a wrestler or a comic. And after I got in my first fight, I'm like, I'm going to tell jokes. That's going to be the way to go.
A little safer
in some ways. A little safer.
Great. Okay, and Griffin would like to know, what is your favorite impression or sound effect to joke with?
Favorite impression or sound effect or character in general is just the girl voice, because nobody expects to see this 300-pound Mexican go, oh my God, yes, it's so mate. So yeah, definitely that, and it always catches people off guard. So you know, that's my favorite.
So you have just finished a film, you've been touring the globe, you've done some voice work in some films. What's next?
After the Fluffy movie, we're seeing about doing Magic Mike 2. I'm up for that right now. We're in talks. Definitely coming out with Book of Life at the end of the year, directed by Guillermo del Toro. Also another movie called L'Americano, which is an Edward James Olmos project, and I signed on for The Nut Job Part 2. And that is an animated film. For those of you that don't know, I know Nut Job is like, what kind of a movie is that?
Is Channing Tatum in that one too?
You know what? I'm not sure. I know he's in Book of Life though. He's killing it in that one. But yeah, I love voiceover work. Second to comedy, voiceover work is definitely right up there. Acting's probably third or fourth, I want to say. But yeah, comedy #1, and then voiceover work.
It's got to come pretty naturally, because when you're in that booth, it's hard to, because you don't have other people to act off of. So you're performing again. You have to be animated, which you're pretty good at.
And I've talked to myself in a room alone, so at least now I get paid for it. It's pretty cool.
I'm working on that. So final thoughts, why should our audience check out the Fluffy movie?
First of all, it's a movie that everyone can go see together. I intentionally made it PG-13. My show sometimes can get a little bit risque, especially with the support that I bring other comics on the show. But for the most part, I always get parents that tell me after their shows, our kids are the ones that turned us on to you. They wanted to be here, but there's age restrictions, because either it's a comedy club, so it's 21 and over, or some theaters, they make it 18 and over. Every now and then there'll be ones that, you know, they'll have 15. But less than that, it's like, forget about it. So when I made this movie, I wanted to make sure that I kept it cool. That's why I tell people the only F word in this movie is fluffy, okay? The only F word is fluffy. And so everybody can go out to see it together. It's a very relatable film. Definitely touches on family and issues and stuff like that, and travels and what I've been up to. And I think it's, again, a nice message and something different. It's not the normal stand-up comedy show.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for coming to speak with us about it. Make sure you grab your tickets for the Fluffy movie hitting AMC Theatres, specifically some select AMC independent theaters. The good stuff.
The good stuff.
On July 25th. Well, thank you so much for being here. And can't wait to see what's next.
It's going to be amazing. Epic.
I'm Amirose with AMC Movie News. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll include a link to buy tickets in the show notes below. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon.
Hey everyone, if you liked this video, click that thumbs up button and make sure to subscribe to our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. It's free and helps you stay up to date with all the latest movie news, as well as our daily AMC movie talk show. Also, make sure that you follow us on Facebook and Twitter to stay up to date with all of our special promotions, contests, and prize giveaways.